The line judge for this match is Sabrina Steffens.
Well, there we have it. The team's out now. Urska Kavic, the 24-year-old, lines up with Nina Karel and Anna Uma for Slovenia. Denmark line up with Christine Andersen, Randy Dine, and Nana Jakobsen. A hard one to call this. You'd probably fancy the Danes slightly?
Statistically speaking, yes, I think so. On the other hand, yeah, there's a reason that Slovenia is in this bronze medal match, so I'll be interested to see how this one gets along.
Well, it will be Denmark up first. Time to go for bronze here on Recurve Sunday. And a wide left 6 as the sighter.
And very interesting left 5 as well. And you see them vigorously moving their sides. Hopefully Christine will be able to adjust, which she will. She's on the right, so maybe over-adjusted or maybe just not the best shot. But at least Slovenia will now have been able to capitalize on it, maybe, and adjust their sides beforehand.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That shooting second in that this first set is does give you the advantage of seeing 3 arrows fly down the 70-meter range first.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to shoot second than to start off first. And it can be many things, many reasons for shooting so far left. It can be due to the difference in wind in the practice field and the finals venue. But it can also be the difference in angle of approach. So it might be that the practice field is a bit of at a different angle, and then just the whole light circumstance will change. So the angle the sun will hit your string at, you're trying to align with your string in your side picture. So basically your string is very close to your eye, and you want to align that with your direction of shooting. So you want to just barely look past the string. If there is a lot of sunlight on it, it will be a big blur, and your width of the group might change.
So down to Andersen now to finish things off for Denmark.
And that's a 9-10 liner.
Close. Skinny arrows, what do you reckon?
From my first instinct was, oh, that's a 10. So they might be right.
43 marked for a measure, though, that last arrow. So we hand back over to Slovenia. Playing the set system here. So each the 6 arrows in each set are self-contained, and the team with the highest score will get 2 set points. If they're level on score after 6 arrows each, it's a point apiece.
So even though she just shot a 5, they only need a 5 now to get the set. And that's a 9, so that's more than enough.
So there you have it, the 2 set points going to Slovenia And I actually said it, perhaps not the team that we would expect to have made it this far, but they have fought their way through. Georgia, Ukraine, Italy, losing out to Germany in the semi-finals, and now they lead the way here in this bronze medal match.
Yeah, definitely, and they've done so quite convincingly in this first set. The nice thing about the set system in this case for Denmark is that the next set they start at 0, so even though they're trailing by 2 set points, it's not like they're trailing by 5 points cumulatively. Sorry, that's a difficult word for me to say.
At this time on a Sunday morning.
So, yeah, Denmark can just get back into this by getting a good second set in. So it will still be interesting, I think.
And if you look at so if you take the first half of that set for Denmark, 6-5-7, versus the second half, 8-8-10, they definitely improved. So they had to use those first 3 hours as proper sighters.
Yeah, so I think they should be able to start off at a higher level now and maybe clinch the second set to tie up the match.
Well, an intriguing start to the day here on Recurve Sunday. Slovenia will be the happier of the two teams, and they are enjoying themselves out here in Munich. I mean, Chef, the dramatic change in weather. It was almost like the weather knew that we were going to be live this weekend. Rained until Friday, and then bright sunshine out for Slovenia and Denmark in this bronze medal match. Denmark trailing after a tricky start to the first set, and it will be Randy Dine to shoot first in the second.
It was a bit of a longer hold, and also in the shot, yeah, I don't know, maybe it leaned a bit towards the left, but she did adjust her sight, and she has been consistently hitting on the left. So. Yeah, so some encouragement from her teammate, just saying, "Come on, strong shot," which is what you need in these situations where you're trailing and you want to put some pressure on the opponent.
First 10 of the match there from Anderson.
So definitely some shaking going on, but it doesn't seem like any fatigue or maybe being overbowed. I think it's just a little bit of nerves that make her shake a little more than what she's used to, but it doesn't have to be so bad if you shake a little bit, because essentially you just want to have your side pin kind of close to the middle, and at the moment of release you'll automatically correct for it. So especially with recurve archery, you try to push the arrow to the middle rather than waiting for the shot to happen. That one's gone a bit wide, but I think the circumstances are also not necessarily the easiest, as the sun is coming directly from behind them, which is, it's nice because it's not shining into your face, but it means that the target face is really, really bright. So aiming might be more difficult than when it's a bit more flat, when the light's a bit more dimmed.
Target of 49 set by Denmark. 56 available to the Slovenians. 9 to be enough.
really forcing the arrows into the gold here. So not the most relaxed form that we've seen so far, but yeah, she makes it stick.
And the 8 closes the set.
Well, it's a convincing start from Slovenia here. 4-0 up against the slight favourites, Denmark, for this bronze medal match, and looking very much in control. Yes, there's some nerves on the shooting line, but when the arrows fly 70 metres down to the end of the range, they're hitting a better part of the target than the Danes are hitting.
Yeah, and essentially that's what archery is about, isn't it? Yeah, you can have the best technique or stand completely still, but if you hit them, or if you don't get them in the goal, then you're not going to win any matches. So it's I always say it's better to shoot a sloppy 10 than a nice 9.
Yeah, this is a very good way of describing things, and here Karel, Kavic and Uma are in control for Slovenia. We take a look back. Chef, it's an opportunity here to put a bit of additional thought into this. 70 metres down a range, skinny arrow that's what, just under a metre long?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like typically 70 to 80 centimetres long, yeah.
And it's flying down 70 metres of the range. Does it fly flat and in a straight line straight to the target?
No, definitely not. I think for these women shooters, if I'm not mistaken, they go about 4 meters into the air in like a parabolic shape. Because, yeah, obviously the draw weight of these ladies will be somewhere between maybe 35 and 45 pounds. So that's what they pull back with their 3 fingers and hold for a couple seconds. So it's that's also one of the reasons why you see some of them shaking a little bit. It's not so easy as it looks, but it's not enough to shoot in a straight line. There's always some kinetic energy involved, and you need to aim up a little bit, which is why they have adjustable sights that you can move the altitude of.
So an arc that peaks at 4 meters. Just have a think about that. We go into the third set here, and Denmark have to win it to give themselves a chance at bronze.
She started on the left and then she corrected, but maybe overcorrected, as her last couple of arrows have been on the right. But she just did move her sight over, so she is really looking to hit the middle here.
Ballpark of 20 seconds per arrow, per archer.
Yeah, typically in a recurve match, and often ladies are a bit quicker in shooting than the men. So typically it's not really an issue to get it within the 2 minutes for the 6 arrows.
We'll switch back to Slovenia here. All they have to do in this set is match the Danes. They don't even have to beat them. Share of the points is enough for them to get the medal.
Yeah, so 5 set points will win the match, and if they share this set, then they'll obviously get 1 set point, adding up to 5. She didn't seem overly happy with that shot, but she's definitely happy now with it, especially where it hit. Yeah, that's a really good shot. So they have bought themselves some leeway here. They have 2 points advantage, maybe 1 if the 9 asterisk is gonna be graded up.
Yeah, the asterisk indicating a measure for Denmark's third arrow. Randy Dine with the 4th.
9.
Well, Jakobsen uses most of the Danes' time. Process taking not much more than 20 seconds, I wouldn't say, but effective with another 9.
Yeah, she just takes a little bit more time on the line. very clean, very quick shot. So brings them up to a 54 or maybe a 55 if that arrow hits the line, which I think it might well do.
Yeah, I think you may be right, and that 10 very critical. But Uma, Kavic and Corel have a big opportunity here.
And if they can keep it within the gold, then they at least share the set, and that would be enough. So 2 9s will do the trick. A little shaky, and she is typically, if she shakes more, she hits more left low, which maybe means that her left shoulder is not so stable in a situation like this.
Well, 10 for the win. That's gone into the 8, and all of a sudden that measure becomes very important.
Well, actually, it becomes less important, doesn't it?
Well, yes, I was just about to turn around and say, actually, it doesn't. It means that Denmark have got 2 points, but it could be a bigger lead they had in that set.
Yeah. So yeah, what I was saying is typically for a right-handed recurve archer, if your left shoulder creeps up during the shot, so if you're not really pulling through the clicker, your draw length indicator in a balanced manner, your shoulder might creep up, and that's very it can be an indicator for shooting left low arrows. And then I think that is what we might be seeing at Slovenia's side, where most of the bad shots or not great shots are going left low in the 9 and 8 ring. So here's that shoulder I was talking about. You can see where that little Slovenian flag is. If that's not stable, and it's you can see it moving and wobbling around. If it hits, or if the clicker goes in the wrong moment, you'll shoot left low, and that's also after the shot you can see it kind of bump up. And that might just be enough, because a couple millimeters on the shooting line means a couple centimeters at 70 meters. So the margins are really small.
The arrow is flying 70 meters. Micro-millimeters make a big difference at the shooting line. Slovenia still rocking the roost here in Munich, leading 4-2, but Denmark have had a strong fight back in the third. And we get ourselves ready for the fourth, and we welcome Randy Dine back to the shooting line.
She went off to the right again, visibly annoyed with the fact that she's hitting right now rather than hitting in the middle. She's been constantly chasing that middle line. Looked like a good shot. Kind of hit right as well. It seems like the circumstances are really calm, so it might just be a little bit of wind drift that they were experiencing before, and now that has just dropped away. Or
that's a 9.
And though a 25 is not terrible, it's also not great if you're in a position where the other team only has to tie it. A little bit of a stumble in the release. I think she knew at the moment of release that that was going to the right. She was trying to correct it with her left hand, but it was a bit on the late side. So now that 25 that I was talking about earlier is kind of enough to get 1 point lead. So if they can get 3 good arrows in, I think they might force a shoot-off out of this.
Yeah, it's looking that way after a very shaky start for Denmark. 4-0 down after 2 at the halfway stage, although this is a long hold. And she's gone left this time.
Yeah, I think a long hold doesn't have to be bad, but this one, it looked like she lost control after a while. So the shot was a bit sloppy and a bit rough, but I'm sure she knows that better than I do.
9. Oh, that's a 7, sorry.
Well, I questioned myself then when the stadium announcer said 9. I thought that's gone into the 7, hasn't it? Well, it has gone into the 7. Corrected in venue for a 40, potentially on the cards here. What? It is 40 indeed.
So another 8. If my math is correct, they need 3 8s at least to tie this set and make it 5-3. If they get anything less than 16 points with these 2 arrows, we go to a shoot-off.
Yeah, there you go. So scores updated well. The chance is still there for Slovenia here. They just need to match that 48, and as you can see, a 9 will do it.
Yeah, and she's been very, very stable as an anchor.
8 to win.
And it is a 9.
Gets it into the 9. It's been an intriguing start to coverage here on Recurve Sunday. Slovenia, a bit of a surprise package, making it into the bronze medal match. Were certainly the underdogs against Denmark, but they started on a flyer going 4-0 up and managed to see it through. You can see the disappointment on the Danes' faces. But Slovenia have taken bronze.
Yeah, in maybe not the most high-scoring match, but it was exciting to watch nonetheless. Yeah, it was cool to see different levels of experience shoot in one team. If you look at both teams,
well, confirmation there that Slovenia have taken the bronze medal here in the Recurve women's team competition. Urska Kavic, Nina Corral, and Anna Uma will be standing on the 3rd step of the podium a little bit later on here in Munich. And it's great to see that the Danes have recovered from their disappointment to shake the hands of their victors in this bronze medal match. It's also fantastic to see such a big crowd back again at sporting events.
Yeah, it's really good to see that we can all enjoy our beautiful sport again.
Thank you very much, dear athletes. Danke den Schützinnen und auch den Coaches und der Kampfrichterin für dieses erste Match des Tages.
We take a look back over the bronze medal match. Randy Dine getting things off for the Danes. They got off to a very shaky start, didn't they?
Yeah, those couple of blues they had in the beginning, I think, didn't really help with their confidence. You want to get shooting well out of the gate and breathe some confidence into the team, and it's a bit of a shame if that doesn't happen.
Not if you're Slovenian, though, in this case.
Yeah, they must be very happy. As you can see here, right here, they needed a 9, and she managed to shoot like a 9.1. So it's right next to the line, and which is exactly what they needed.
Well, you can see how much it means to them. A tremendous bronze medal for Slovenia here. Very unexpected for this team in Munich, but they are on the European podium. And you can see what it means to that Slovenian trio. Scenes here in Munich, very beautiful, right in the heart of the city we are. The bronze statue that looks over this 70-meter range is a feat of engineering, standing nearly 20 meters tall. The bronze statue, Lady Bavaria, the Bavarian region of Germany, is overlooking this, and it's a magnificent statue. Something worth seeing if you get a chance to come to Munich.
So Freunde, ihr kriegt jetzt von unserem DJ einen Klatschrhythmus. Und jetzt beginnen wir nämlich mit dem ersten Goldfinale mit deutscher Beteiligung. Wo seid ihr bitte? Auf geht's!
Fancy a little bit of gold medal action? Well, you're in the right place. Time for the Recurve Women's Team Gold Medal match, our first here on Recurve Sunday in Germany. And the Germans have got something to shout about here on home soil, as they will feature in this gold medal match against this trio of Turkish athletes coming out. Turkey, a very strong archery nation, but this team from Germany, from the host nation, is building in confidence. The experience of Kroppen, joined by the up-and-comers Bauer and Schwartz, are starting to make their mark on the international scene, not only in individual but in team competition. Let's go down for the athlete introductions.
On target number 2, representing Turkey, Yasemin Anagos, Eti Bakalan, and Jonas Korku. The line judge for this match is Klaus Lückebeck.
So the excitement builds here in Munich, in the heart of Bavaria. Turkey came through the ranking round, ranked third lineup here. Yasemin Anagos, Izzy Basaran and Gulnaz Koskun going up against the team. The crowd are right behind, right here from Germany on home soil, competing for the the Recurve Women's Team Gold Medal is Katharina Bauer, Michelle Kroppen and Charlene Schwartz. Good way to start a competition, isn't it? Have the host nation involved.
Yeah, and it's it's always nice to shoot with your home crowd. I have had the chance to do it a couple times, and it's a really special feeling.
Start of the gold medal match. Katharina Bauer on the shooting line as Germany start against Turkey.
And immediately after she gets off the line, she starts telling her teammates, okay, I went off there, I did this for adjusting, and yeah, maybe you should do the same, because she hit the gold. So she said both of us are low, so maybe adjust for that a bit. And she did. That's the right elevation. Just a little bit to the left, but they have a good group to start with.
Yeah, the grouping, if you're new to archery, is all about how close that trio of arrows is together.
8.
Yeah, so also an 8. And again, that communication is key here. Getting off the line, immediately saying, okay, I did this, and it hit there, so maybe you can take that into account with your next shot.
A 6. Not what these archers at this level are looking for. Anagos onto the shooting line.
great shot to recover. So limiting the damage between the two teams. Germany seem to have a really nice group, so if they can just move that group to the middle, they can put this out of reach for Turkey.
It's a good way to start that correction.
It doesn't get much more to the middle than that.
Charlene Schwartz.
She's right next to her previous arrow, so you can see that she's leaning over and adjusting her sight a bit.
It does mean notionally that they can't put this out of reach, depending on the measure, of course, on that last arrow. But Kroppen puts it into the 10.
Yeah, and that's a really, really good group they have there. So Charlene moved her sight. If she can get her arrows into the gold as well, I think they're doing really well. Turkey looked like they were maybe searching a bit more, but yeah. Again, the group is good. She hits her second arrow right next to her first arrow, and that's in archery. It starts with shooting a group, and then if you have a group, you can change your sight setting or your technique to put it in the middle.
Well, as you can see, this one is out of reach for Turkey, despite one of the German arrows requiring a measure.
Bit of a long hold, and maybe a loss of tension, but she must have known that this arrow didn't really matter for this set. Although even then, you obviously want to shoot your arrow in the middle, because then you know if your sight is correct, if your technique is doing well. So I'm sure she didn't give this arrow away purposely.
Yeah, I'm sure as well. The Germans will be very happy about the start for their trio. I've got a question for you though, Chef. What is it with the bananas?
That's a very good question. I was scrolling Instagram the other day, and I think I saw hashtag Team Banana or something similar.
Right.
So there must be something going on there, and I suspect it's an inside joke, but maybe we'll get some clarification after this by one of their team members.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to find out, wouldn't it? Because I think Kroppen has got a necklace that's got a banana on it. And we've got a banana sitting next to the scope as well.
Yeah, and then they all have a little banana thing on their chest guard as well, on the back of their chest guard. So yeah, it is a recurring theme.
And the knock as well. Are they all yellow, the Germans? The end of the arrows. We might get a chance to have a look now, depending on how.
Looks more purple than
that
anything.
one looks purple. Yeah. But I think some of them have got yellow. Look, see,
there's
yellow
the banana.
knocks. Something to do with, I don't know, slipping on a banana skin maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's hope that they get to the interview and that we can we can hear over there.
Quite right. Well, there you go. Eat, sleep, archery, repeat. That's what we've got today here on Recurve Sunday. 2 sessions of the Olympic discipline coming at you right before your eyes. European Championships nestled very neatly between 2 Hyundai Archery World Cups. You have to wait long for the next one of those from Paris in just 2 weeks' time. And now we turn our attention back to the gold medal match between Turkey and the host nation Germany. Turkey trailing 2 set points to 0 will shoot first in the second.
That was a bit of a weird sound from her bow. I don't know if it makes that sound every time, but it was like a metallic sound. Sometimes if you shoot a bad shot, your bow will sound different, and you can judge if it was a good or bad shot from there. And this is not really doing them any favors with the way that Germany is shooting.
It's not very Turkish, is it?
No, we're used to them shooting a bit better, but for all we know, it might be more windy over there on the line than it is here.
Well, there was a proper conversation going on there between Katarina Bauer and her teammate Charlene Schwartz. So maybe you're right. Maybe there's a difference in the wind down 70 metre range. So it's calm on the shooting line and maybe a bit blustery down the other end.
Yeah, because if you have so much communication going on the line, I'm sure they're not talking about what they had for breakfast. I think they're exchanging information about where they are aiming. If they see anything in the arrow flight, you can see that the teammates are standing behind and looking at the way the arrows fly to the target. So yeah, there might be some wind that maybe goes over the audience and drifts the arrows a little. And again, very consistent. Last time she was in the top left in the red, and now she is high in the yellow. So it's just a matter of changing the group again, and she'll be good.
8.
Well, she went left 6 for the first arrow, right 6 for the second. Not what we'd expect from Yasmin Anagosh. Big opportunity for a very commanding lead here for Bauer and co.
10.
The confidence must be absolutely sky high now.
Yeah, and I think they get more and more relaxed as their shooting is going so well, and Turkey is struggling to find out where to aim and what to do. And another, I think 10. It's difficult to see, but
9's enough.
yeah.
by a long shot. They've matched the score even without that measure being considered,
Yeah.
and they have 1 arrow left.
So just hitting the target will be enough for this set.
Crotten determined to get it in the middle. Crotten getting it into the middle. Another 9 there for a 55. This is a tremendous situation for the host nation. Chef, I have to talk about the fact that, well, there's the banana again. I have to talk about the fact that every sport, archery as well, it's a case of opportunities come around, and it's what you do when those opportunities come about. Here, the Germans are taking great advantage of a lower than expected performing Turkey.
Yeah, and even though in archery you would say, well, the tactic will always be to shoot a 10, especially in windy situations, you can do some risk assessment. You can, if it's really windy, you want to aim off a bit more, but you can also stay safe and maybe aim off a little bit if you know that you have some leeway, so you don't accidentally shoot a really bad arrow if the wind drops away. So there is some tactics involved, and it's not always the case that you don't want to know what the opponent is shooting, because you can take a certain risk in certain situations.
Well, it's been tricky for Turkey, and Crotten anchoring the German team has been in a fairly comfortable position with each of her last arrows so far in this match. 2 sets of 4, potentially 4, done already. And Germany are 4-0 up in this Recurve Women's Team Gold Medal match. Start of the third. It's a must-win situation for the Turkish team.
Yeah, and as the trailing team always shoots first, this is really their moment to put some pressure on Germany. That's a great way to do so.
8.
So although, from what we've seen so far today, although an 8 is not necessarily bad, Germany has only shot 1 8 so far, and the rest has all been in the gold. So
9.
27, that's pretty good. Although, yeah, from what we've seen so far, I think Germany will have no problem with this. So
yeah, I mean it's very good at 27 halfway through, but this standard and the way that Germany is shooting, I won't be too fearful.
yeah, just looking at the group of Germany, they have that one left low 8, after which I think Charlene has moved her side, and then ever since then they've only hit the gold. So shooting at 27 might not be enough for Turkey to actually get back in this match. It's a bit of commentator's curse there.
Yeah, well, you said it before me. It was bound to happen, wasn't it? But it does mean that Kroppen perhaps is under a tiny bit of pressure here halfway through. You can see Schwarz and Bauer in the background just discussing that shot. And another one. So a bit of wind perhaps.
Yeah, and they are communicating, and you can see that some adjustments are being made now, and they are constantly looking around, looking at all of the information that they can gather from the field. There's a couple of flags, like wind tunnel flags, wind socks they call them, and you can get a great deal of information from there, as Turkey is also hitting left. So I think something is happening on the field that might not be so easy to see with the naked eye. But that you'll just have to find out when shooting the arrow.
Well, another one's gone left as well for another 8. So this actually keeps things alive for the Germans here, having gone halfway through the set 2 points down.
And it likely confirms that they what they were thinking, that it might be the circumstances on the field making them hit left rather than their shot. So they can still fire confident shots without thinking, ooh, it was maybe me who shot the arrow in the 8. It was more likely the wind.
Well, let's see how the Germans have adjusted here. This is a gettable target, but they can afford to drop 2 points. There's one of them for the 9, so a better shot from the Germans from the last 2, but they need to match that score of 53 to get the 1 point for the 2022 European title on what would be a very special occasion for the Germans, who are shooting at home.
Well, maybe a little bit of over-adjustment there, meaning we'll get another set.
For sure we will. It's confirmed that Germany can't reach that target score of 53.
You know, with this arrow, it would be nice to know for the team, like, okay, where did I aim that one? It was more of a feeler arrow, like a test. You could just shoot it without any consequence. You can shoot a good shot and see what happens on the field without having to aim off ridiculous amounts.
Now, I think certain factions of the audience will go, what on earth is Chef Vandenberg talking about? Wind? It looks lovely there. The sun's shining, it's very clear. But I think the key thing to explain on that front is that you guys can shoot in gale force winds as long as it's consistently strong, and then you can adjust for it. But the problem is it more exaggerated when there's no wind and then just a very, very slight breeze picks up somewhere?
Yeah. So when you're shooting in the wind still conditions, and you're getting used to those wind still conditions, you kind of shoot in a more relaxed manner. Typically, your shoulders and arms are more relaxed because you don't have to counter the wind with your form. If then suddenly a little bit of wind comes onto the field, you get caught off guard, or you can get caught off guard, making you shoot out of the middle. And then again, the arrows, as we mentioned previously, can fly up to 4 meters over the ground. They have quite a high curve, and the wind might blow over the stands, making it feel like there's no wind on the line. But because the arrows fly so high, they might get a little bit of drift.
So there you have it. It's the changeable conditions that causes these archers an issue when you're talking about the wind and the light as well. If everything's steady and stable, you expect archers of this quality to shoot the arrows pretty much in the same place almost every time. Turkey have fought their way back into this gold medal match. They still trail by 4 set points to 2 as they get the 4th and final regulation set underway. And straight into the gold, and a little bit more buoyancy from the Turkish team.
Yeah, a little bit more dynamic energy in there when she got off the line. I feel like the fighting spirit has gotten back when they won the last set. Something that is very it's always there in the Turkish team, that fighting spirit, but sometimes it just resurfaces.
10, 98.
Just the 4th 10 from the Turkish team.
Yeah, and I don't think that Germany has shot many more things, maybe 1 or 2, but they've
they've only shot 3 themselves.
Yeah, they've just been more consistent in hitting 9s and maybe an 8 on a bad shot rather than a 6. So those 2 points, they only need to win back 2 points, because if they tie the set, they get 5 set points, or they get 1 set points, which adds up to 5 set points, and they'll win the match. So Turkey will have to shoot some good arrows, and that is one of them. They need to win this set. They cannot tie the set, or they'll lose the match.
And they still have it in their own hands here as well. 2 10s will put this out of reach. That's opened the door right up for Germany.
I think if shoots a 10 here, they still get a really good shot, as Germany will have to shoot a 28. In this case, a 27. So 3 9s will do the trick, or a 10-9-8 or a 10-10-7, but at least 27 is what they need.
So they can afford to drop 3 points. Bauer to the 8, so that's 2 of them gone already. They can only afford to drop 1 more point here and still get the European title. Charlene Schwarz on the line.
It's a good 9, and this puts a lot of pressure on Michelle, but, well, if anyone, I mean.
So 10 for the win for Kroppen, a 10 for the European title on home soil. Well, she's hit the 9 for a 52, so currently the scores are all level at 4 set points apiece.
And that means that we will see a shoot-off. Wir sehen ein Stechen in diesem Golffinale zwischen Deutschland und der Türkei, weil beide Teams 4
Well, we have it that the scores are confirmed already at 4 set points apiece. Our first gold medal match on Recurve Sunday is going to have a what, Chef?
We're going to have a nice little shoot-off. So, yeah, both teams will shoot 1 arrow an archer. The highest score wins, and if they match scores, the closest arrow to center will win the match. So,
and there's confirmation from the target judge. The scores are all tied up. So we get like a mini set, a half set.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So basically it's just like a golden goal, essentially. You all get to shoot 1 arrow. Yeah, the team with the highest score wins, and if it's a tied score, so let's say both of the teams shoot at 30 points, the closest arrow to center will be the winning team.
So first score, then measure. And Chef, whilst they clean the target faces, they put new target faces on in case we need that measure. You got in tennis a lot on Compound Saturday. Golden goal, the football references today. Are you just trying to weave in every other sport? I mean, are you going to get fencing in at some point?
Well, it's an interesting sport. Maybe curling as well.
Well, you can see the crowd are buoyed up. I think the German crowd here would have preferred a straight 6-0 victory, but they're getting right behind them in the tiebreak, aren't they?
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a double-edged sword in this, and that it's always nice to see.
You did it. I immediately, very sharp. You got fencing in there, brilliant.
It's nice to see a shoot-off, but obviously they do want Germany to win. Although I think the nicest way to win is with a shoot-off.
They'll be sliding their minds into gear here, sweeping away the nerves. The shoot-off for the European title, the compound women's team, recurve women's team discipline, as Germany take on Turkey. 1 arrow per archer. Highest score wins over 3 arrows in this shoot-off.
Right now it's difficult because typically you shoot 1 arrow and then your teammate steps on the line and shoots another arrow. So you can say, okay, the circumstances at this point were this, but now there's another team shooting in between with a 7. Oh, they open the door, but now some time has passed, so the circumstances might have changed since Katarina shot. So it's a bit more difficult to communicate about the wind or the circumstances.
This is a big arrow for Turkey.
So all Michele has to do right now is to hit the gold.
That's it. Just hit the yellow part of the target. Easier said than done in these tough circumstances. But if she does hit a 9, she puts this out of reach. Oh, she's high into the 9. It's a lovely shot for Michelle Kruppen. A 26 is not gettable for Turkey. Got to be fair to the Turkish team. They were in all sorts of trouble right at the beginning. They fought their way back to force this shoot off, but Anna Gosch's arrow is meaningless, unfortunately, for Turkey. But Germany here can celebrate finally. They have taken the European title in the recurve women's team event here on home soil in Munich. Germany, the European champions. What a performance from them. They started at a real sprint, coming out of the blocks much harder than Turkey. Credit to Turkey to fight their way back in to force the shoot-off. But in the end, the German steel and nerve was enough to take them to the European title. What a start to Recurve Sunday.
Yeah, this bodes well for the rest of the day. I'm really excited to see all the matches now.
Well, what a boost for the German team here on home soil, collecting the European title. First time of asking here on Recurve Sunday. And confirmation of the win for the Germans. And this new feature that we've seen this season of every team having a sort of little bit of a salute or a celebration at the end of a win.
Yeah, I think well, Germany is right in, in enjoying the moment and enjoying the last moments of the shooting in front of their home crowd. Although I think both Michele and Katarina are shooting later today in the individual matches, so they might have some time to enjoy as well in the afternoon.
Do you think the banana will be back?
I suspect so, yeah.
I hope we can find out the relevance of the banana. We are likely to get a little chat with them as well, the new European title holders, as we take a look back over best action. You get a good look at the archery equipment.
Yeah, she just put her arrow under the clicker, which is the draw length indicator that I was talking about, I think earlier this match or a previous match. So she pulls back her bow, and then the point will slide off or slide under the plate, and when she is pulled back far enough, the plate will hit another metallic plate, as you can see in the right of the screen right now, and that just tells her, okay, I've pulled back far enough and I can now release, and that just gives her a little bit of extra consistency in the shot and a little bit more precision. Here's a good close-up of it. You can beautifully see that there is a lot of tension when you're pulling back the bow, and then when that clicker goes, you just let all of that tension go and direct your shot into the gold.
Well, they certainly did. This German trio are the Golden Girls here in Munich. Katharina Bauer looking around to soak up the atmosphere. Banana gets center stage. Look at the celebration of the German team here on home soil. Beautiful conditions. I've got to say that the scores are not perhaps what we would normally expect at this level in that match. They were a little bit lower, and in the bronze medal match.
Yeah, I think the amount of eights that we've seen.
Well, sorry, Chef, we're going to go straight down to the interview with the new European champions.
Kati, das war eine Achterbahn der Gefühle. Sag mal, wie war die Gefühlslage vorher, während und jetzt?
Oh, die Gefühlslage, ich glaube, ziemlich gut gerade. Vorher natürlich eher Vorfreude, sehr emotional, auch als wir da begrüßt wurden. Wir hatten alle Gänsehaut. Und dann, klar, kommt man an und ist nervös. Aber das haben wir ganz gut gemeistert und auch die Stresssituationen gut mitgenommen. Und jetzt am Ende, ja, ich bin sprachlos, was wir hier gemacht haben. Echt spannend und ja, super.
She said she's very happy after winning gold. It was a little bit stressful, but now she's speechless. Charlie, ihr habt das 6. Mal in Folge eine Teammedaille bei Europameisterschaften gewonnen. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob du das weißt. Das letzte Mal die Goldmedaille war 1998. Was ist das Geheimnis des Erfolges des deutschen Bogenschießens der Frauen?
Das ist natürlich eine gute Sache. Ich bin ja erst seit letztem Jahr so richtig im Damenteam dabei. Aber stimmt, auch da haben wir ja die Silbermedaille geholt auf der EM. Ja, das Geheimnis, wenn wir das jetzt verraten, dann wissen es die anderen Nationen ja leider auch. Aber wir haben unsere Taktik gefunden, wie wir sehr gut untereinander harmonieren, und wir können uns aufeinander verlassen, und dann trifft es schon.
She said it's a 6th consecutive medal for the German women's team, and they have a secret, but she can't tell it here now. Yeah? Michelle. Ihr nennt euch selber die Banana Crew. Erzählt doch mal, was verbirgt sich denn dahinter?
Ja, tatsächlich hat sich das irgendwie durch Zufall ergeben, weil wir in Korea nach der Qualifikationsrunde uns einfach alle eine Banane genommen haben, die wir eigentlich einfach nur essen wollten. Und irgendwie haben wir dann gesagt, ja, wir stoßen einfach mal an auf die gute Quali, haben das dann in Korea irgendwie so durchgezogen, auch als wir dann mit der Mannschaft ins Goldfinale eingezogen sind. Und irgendwie haben das sehr viele Leute mitbekommen und auch die World Archery, und seitdem wurden wir die Banana Crew getauft.
Okay, that's a secret of the Banana Crew. It started in Korea. They don't have a drink to put it together, so they take the bananas, and now they are the Banana Crew. Thanks a lot and good luck.
Well, amazing team there, taking the European title on home soil. Speechless is, I think, what Bauer said before. All three of them went on to wax lyrical about the performance they had, and they've got something secret going on in terms of their tactics.
Yeah, from what I understand, she did explain, and it was mostly due to the good communication that they had and the stress management, but they didn't want to translate because it's obviously a German secret.
I see, so thank goodness you're here. And did we get an answer about the banana squad other than it started in Korea?
Yeah, from what I understand, but my German is very rusty. I think they shot the qualification in Korea, and they managed to do really well together with the team of the men. But they obviously couldn't have a drink afterwards to celebrate because they were still in competition. So they had a banana instead. That's in my very very bad German. That's what I understood.
Very good. No, good to hear and good to understand. So it started in Gwangju in the High-End Archery World Cup that was there a few weeks ago. Well, look, before you were rudely interrupted by the new European champions with their supposedly important interview, but we were talking about the scores not being quite as high as perhaps.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is that even though the group was pretty good from Germany, they shot a little more 8s than I would normally expect from them, and I think that means that actually the weather wasn't super bad, but it was just tricky enough to get caught off guard sometimes. So it was not super gusty, it was not super windy, but it was windy enough that it was difficult at times.
I don't think we heard yesterday that there was a nod to the fact that your concentration needs to be at an absolute highest when you have very still conditions, so that you do adjust if there is some wind.
Yeah. So you don't get surprised by it. Yeah.
Well, there we go. We are halfway through this first session here on Recurve Sunday. Coming up next, we will have the bronze medal match in the men's competition, followed by the men's team gold medal match. Been a brilliant start here to the action on Recurve Sunday here in sunny Munich.
Ein super Start für das große Finale der Europameisterschaften mit einem deutschen Sieg. So haben wir uns das gewünscht. So ist es eingetreten. Ich muss nochmal sagen, das macht so viel Spaß mit euch. Das ist ja großartig, dass ihr hier abreißt. Wenn die Bavaria, die vielleicht nicht, aber wenn das Gerüst rechts daneben sich irgendwann später abgefallen ist, dann weiß es auch nicht. Ihr macht das so super. Danke für eure Geduld, danke fürs Warten. Wir sind soweit. Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the Recurve women team.
Well, time to present the medals in the Recurve women's team competition. It's been a very, very interesting archery so far here on Recurve Sunday. Perhaps not the high scores we were expecting, but certainly no lack of entertainment. Christian Kuhn, the head of the Bavarian Sports Federation, part of the medal ceremony. Well, here's a surprise package, and boy, did they shoot well in the bronze medal match. Slovenia taking bronze here in the Recurve women's team competition. Recurve, Nina Corral. And she shot first for the team, the most experienced, Anna Uma. A very special moment for this Slovenian trio. Unexpected podium visitors here in Munich. gifts which double up as a lunchtime snack, as Anna Uma was just showing us. They weren't on fire in the final, you have to say. They weren't in their finest form. But boy, what a team when you're not in your finest form, collecting a silver medal at the Continental Championships. Glass Kosken. Izzy Bazaran in the middle. And Yasemin Anagosh, the most experienced and eldest in the team at just 23 years old, collecting her silver medal. But really the biggest cheer of the day, at least so far, is about to happen. Gifts being given to the Turkish team as a prelude to, I think, the crowd going wild.
Gold medal and European champion 2022, representing Germany.
What a moment. What a pleasure to watch them. What an honour to get to talk about them. Charlene Schwarz on the left. Michelle Kroppen in the middle. And Munich's born and bred very own Katharina Bauer on the right. Germany, the European champions, here on home soil. What a day for them. What a moment for them. And what a moment for all the locals in the crowd. These are moments that inspire the next generation of athletes. Magnificent trio. We get to celebrate with them and their national anthem. A proud moment for Bauer, especially she's from Munich herself, but for the three Germans here, collecting the European title would definitely have been on their radar, but the realization when you do it is something different.
And I was actually fortunate enough in 2012 to become European team champion in my home country, and it really is a special feeling with the support of the crowd and typically with your family there, and so it's really it brings an extra dimension to a European championship.
Well, as the athletes parade away, just a reminder, Germany taking the Recurve women's team title from a underperforming Turkish team. Here are the rankings. Germany top of the pile from Turkey, who, well, they weren't on their greatest form, but collecting a silver medal at the zonal championships is not a bad result from that. Slovenia, the surprise but very deserving bronze medalist, beating Denmark in that playoff. Well, as you can hear, the Germans taking an opportunity to talk to their new European Championship team live on the field of play. So we get to take a little look back. And, well, Chef, you love this, don't you? Close-ups of all the equipment.
Yeah, I love it. It's always nice to see what people are shooting and to get a good look at the small personal touches that people bring to their equipment.
Yeah, and the emotion also getting soaked up within these replays. Slovenia, the unexpected bronze medalist, but really this morning has all been about this German team. Schwarz, perhaps the least experienced of the three, teaming up with Bauer and Kruppen. There he is, Michel Kruppen. But back to the equipment, Chef. The European champions are still talking away here in the field of play. There's a lot more stuff on a compound bow.
Yeah, you're not always allowed to use all of the stuff on a recurve bow that you can on a compound bow.
Well, we'll come back to that in a second. We're looking now ahead to the men's bronze medal match. Losing semi-finalist Switzerland take on Great Britain in that bronze medal match, and that will be followed by the men's team gold medal match, Spain versus Italy. I've done the interviews. The judges and the coaches have made their way out, and now the teams make their way out. Time for us to turn our attention to the Recurve men's team bronze medal match. So the Swiss in fine form here. Couple of flags in the crowd. And I think you can hear the British fans are here as well. Let's go down to the field of play for the athlete introductions.
On target number 1, representing Switzerland, Florian Faber und Thomas Rufer. On target number 2, representing Great Britain, Tom Hall, Patrick Houston, and Alex Weiss. The line judge for this match is Manuel Acasio.
So there we have it, the athlete introductions done. It was nice to see that both teams turning to each other and wishing each other luck. That's not usual. You wouldn't see two football teams doing that.
Yeah, actually I don't know if they do that, but in archery it's a very normal thing to do, and it's good sportsmanship, I think, if you also wish your opponent a bit of luck.
Well, good luck to both of them. Switzerland facing Great Britain for the Recurve men's team bronze medal match, and Switzerland will get us underway.
So although Switzerland might not be the highest ranked team and statistically speaking very well the underdog in this match, they have a really good development and education system over there. So I think there's some products of that here. Yeah, I know at least from Florian and from Thomas that they can shoot really well if in the right circumstances. So this might turn out to be a very interesting match.
That's a good start from Great Britain. Houston going into the centre of the target to get things underway. Settles the confidence, doesn't it? Alex Wise up next.
Yeah, and it seems like it's maybe the difference in draw weight that the women and the men have, but it seems like the men don't experience the wind as much as we've seen in the previous matches.
What a start from Great Britain there. 9.99, not bad for Switzerland, but they've bettered it by 2.
Yeah, Thomas is known for not always having the most crisp shots, but he's quite good at hitting the middle. Right on cue. But his release often looks a bit wild, but I think it must feel different for him than it looks for us.
And another one.
This is a really good match right off the bat. I was just about to say, we've just got a match on our hands here. The Swiss left with their 9s early on, but now in the centre of the target. Didn't look too happy with that, just drifting off to the left again, but a better finish for Switzerland and setting a target for Great Britain that isn't perhaps as simple as it may look.
No, a 56 is actually a really decent score, especially for the first end of the match. But Great Britain does have a little bit of an advantage in the first 3 arrows. As Patrick has another quite long hold, but not worryingly long. He seems to still be in control, even though the shot might be longer than ideal. So if Tom can just replicate his first shot even remotely close, then yeah, he gets a good chance of taking this set.
Yeah, Tom Hall anchoring for Great Britain has a chance here, but needs to hit the middle. 9 means that we're all square at 56 points apiece, and it means that we have a very evenly balanced matchup here. You wouldn't really say that Great Britain have either improved through the set or got worse, but you definitely say the Swiss have improved.
Well, yes and no. I think on the one side they have obviously improved since they've shot 2 points more in the second half of the set, but the first 3 were all well within the gold and grouped quite well, so they might have just given their sides a couple clicks, which is just enough to hit some 10s, and I think both teams can have a bit of confidence to build on from this first set, because they both shot a good end with everything in the gold, so there's nothing to worry about on both ends.
Take a look at the British team, seeming very comfortable with each other, having a little bit of a laugh and a joke in between the sets to keep themselves calm. It's a sort of a coping mechanism, right?
Yeah, you try to be as comfortable as possible on the podium, while also it's fine to give in a little bit to the nerves that you're feeling. So it's better to be a bit happy, a bit goofing around, than to try to be very serious and try to hide and block your feelings. So I think they're doing well in that aspect.
Yeah, just dialing down the pressure in the break. Perhaps not the smoothest of looks, but he rode it out.
Yeah, and he hit pretty much hit the spider, so I think he's allowed.
Quiet before the storm. Second set here in this bronze medal match. Recurve men's team competition. Switzerland facing Great Britain. All square, Switzerland shoot first.
Yeah, in that shot, he knew that I was going to go to the left. He was throwing his bow arm to the right to hopefully correct it, but maybe a bit too late.
9.
I really enjoy Chaban's technique. It looks really smooth. Although he's left-handed, so we don't get the best angle of it. It looks like he's really methodical and really smooth through the clicker.
Farder there, finishing things off for Switzerland. We switch to Great Britain's first rotation. Houston shooting first.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a wobble right before he managed to get it through the clicker, but it looked like he recovered, but maybe it was just a little bit too much of a wobble to still get back from it.
Very vocal, Patrick Houston. Tom Hall, though, string on his bow to indicate what's going on with the wind, at least on the shooting line. He puts it into a 10 as well.
Yeah, that was a much better shot than the last one. I think he felt a bit more in control over there. Now we can see that technique that I was talking about. Getting through that clicker really smoothly. Really clean release, and he just lets that bow jump in his hand in a very, it just looks pleasing to me.
Well, this is a very gettable target for Great Britain. A 52 set. Can they steal the lead here?
Bit of bow quando there.
Well, life a little easier for Tom Hall here. 5 to share the points anymore, and Great Britain will take the lead. Well, it drops it into the 8, so not the most convincing finish, but it is enough for Great Britain to take the 2 points in the second set and have a halfway point lead of 3-1.
Yeah, if you shoot an 8, you might as well do it when you need a 5.
That's a very good way of looking at it. Always looking at the bright side. You're listening to the expert opinion of Chef Vandenberg.
Here you can see that the archers are checking the arrows, so they get the arrows back from the runner, which has received the arrows from the agent who's pulled the arrows out of the target. So it goes from person to person, and then you end up back with your own arrows, and you always want to check if your nocks are still in good shape, if your vanes haven't been damaged, if the shaft is still okay. Because if, for instance, a vane is loose, you can shoot a miss, and you want to prevent that at all costs, and it's an easy thing to do. Only takes a couple seconds, but it can save you a match.
So those of you new and don't know what a vane and a knock is, well, the knock is a little etched out, but right at the back end of the arrow that fits into the string, so grips around the string. The veins are the feathers, I think that's probably the best way of describing them, that are now actually sort of a composite plastic that are fitted onto the end of the arrows.
Yeah, and typically in recurve archery, those veins have a certain twist in it, so that if you shoot the arrow, it will start turning really fast, which makes it easier for the arrow to correct after the bit of fishtailing it does in the beginning of the flight. So yeah, there's a lot of personal touches you can give there. You can put it on different angles, you can take different size veins, and everybody has their own preference.
Start of the third set. Big flinch there.
Whoa, that's not bad after such a flinch. very visible look of relief on his face.
Yes, even able to afford himself a little chuckle. The pleasing action of Schabin results in a 10. Ooh, Switzerland having a little fight back here in this third set.
Yeah, well, it's all you can do, really. You need to get back into this match, because if Great Britain wins this set, the match is over. So they will have to do something. 28 is a relatively good start for that.
Perhaps the first time Great Britain are going to feel the pressure of the scoreline, if indeed they are even looking at what the Swiss do.
So it's interesting to see how Patrick is talking Alex through his shot and continuously is talking to him during the shot. I know from experience some people like that and some people hate it. So they must have done some practice to establish if it works for them or not, and what to say. So it's one of those things that in practice you can discuss, like, okay, I would like to hear this when I'm on the line, or I'm struggling with this, can you please remind me of this when I'm standing on the line.
Right, it's different strokes to different folks, isn't it? Some of the very top archers absolutely love being talked to right the way through. I'm thinking about the American team, for example. They're always talking. Whereas as you can see, Switzerland, it's quiet.
Yeah, and then quite often it's also nice to hear something right before you step onto the line for your shot, so that you have a reminder, but then to just being able to make your own shot when you're on the line.
And another 9.
So they have two really close to the 10, but they're definitely 9s, which is a bit unlucky, but I think a 56 might give them good chances of some set points here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Can only afford to drop 1 point from Great Britain here to share the points. So that means the set already has gone to Switzerland. It will be 3-3 at the end of this, but Alex Wise and Tom Hall will want to get through their shots in preparation for what will be a fourth set. And, that's not a bad result. And the 21-year-old, the youngest member of the team, is replaced now by the eldest at 31, Tom Hall.
That's
Just outside of the 9, but it was a good arrow to know what's up on the field. I think he just accepted the fact that it wasn't in the middle and gained some information from it.
Well, for the neutral, you would say, well, this is a very exciting prospect here. We've got a fourth set, both teams tied at 3 apiece. Great Britain started fast. They've kind of levelled off. They haven't necessarily dipped so much, maybe a tiny bit in terms of the scoreline. Switzerland have just progressed bit by bit to this stage.
Yeah, although I think Switzerland had a very good first end, and in the second end they had a bit of a drop off. But now they're back up to speed, so my gut feel says that the momentum is at Switzerland's target, but yeah, it's also quite easy to flip, as we've seen this weekend. Yeah.
Within this match, yes.
Yeah, also, yeah.
But at the moment, I mean, that last set from Great Britain, they've gone, well, look at those raw scoreline, 56, 55, 53. That journey, that travelling direction, potentially offers itself a glimmer of hope for the Swiss team.
Yeah. Although the skiing ramp also goes down and then up again, so.
What goes down must come up. Is that the same?
Yeah, maybe.
Barney Pitten there in the crowd, having had a fantastic season herself already, cheering on the British her British teammates. Three apiece after 3 sets between Switzerland and Great Britain for the recurve men's team bronze medal here in Munich at the 2022 European Championships. It's the final regulation set. Who can eke out the lead? Who can put the pressure on Switzerland to shoot first?
That's a really, really good start. It was a pretty long hold, and I think he kind of hoped it to go off a bit sooner. But yeah, he managed to get it into the 10, so no worries there. So confident. I'm very impressed by Chabin. I think he's really outdoing himself, outshooting himself right here.
Hello.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? Switzerland shooting 310s, and as Chef Vandenberg says, very confident in their look. Now, what will this do to Houston and co of Great Britain?
Yeah, it's a good shot, but it's just like maybe 1.5 centimeters too high, which seems like miles from where we're sitting, but if you're standing on the line, it's like a millimeter too high, and it's out of the 10. So. Again, they get the 3 arrows into the gold. It's not bad, but they're just shooting against a Swiss team that is on fire. They just shot 3 10s. They have a 3-point lead after this first half of the set.
Yeah, just remember that whoever gets the points, whoever gets the highest cumulative score over these 6 arrows is going to be standing on the European Championship podium in bronze medal position.
Yeah.
Switzerland are making this very tricky for Great Britain. A bit of Bo Kondo, he knew that one was going left.
The first really real sign of nerves that I've seen from him. And Florian, he's always so chill, so I think that he might be able to do this. And it just etches it out of the 10.
Well, look at this. It now means that Great Britain, well, they cannot afford to drop a single point over these last 3 arrows. They need 3 10s, otherwise Switzerland have got bronze here. That's the first one. 1 out of 3 for Great Britain done. Over to Alex Wise now. Also needs a 10.
And the pressure is immense now. You need to shoot a 10. You know you need to shoot a 10.
And that's the European medal gone for Great Britain. But what a performance from this Swiss team. What a performance indeed. You do have to feel for Tom Hall here. He's going through his process. He's being methodical. He's going to release that last arrow. He's going to put it into the 9. It's not a bad score at all, 55, but it's not enough. The Swiss have come from behind against Great Britain. The slight underdogs, you have to say, have, well, they started really well, had a dip in the second, and then they've just been tough and determined through the third to draw level. And then in the 4th set, well, they were just magic and deserve this bronze medal.
And look at the emotion at Florian's.
You did very well, guys. Thank you. It's official now. Switzerland is the winner of their bronze medal match.
Well, there you go. Confirmation. The Swiss are the recurve men's team bronze medalists here at the 2022 European Championships in Munich. What a performance from them. A happy time for the Swiss team. Great Britain performed very well as well, but if anything, their performance just dipped through the match, whereas the Swiss took the time to get into it, but once they got flying, they were difficult to catch.
It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Yeah, and yeah, Britain did well as well, especially getting back in that last end after slowly sloping off in level. I think they had a really good last end, but it's just, if you shoot 9s against a team that seemingly only shoots 10s, especially in the first half of the end, or the set rather, it's a difficult place to be. But yeah, also congrats to them with their 4th place, even though it's a very difficult place to be in, which I unfortunately know all too well. It's still a good performance, and I think they shot well this tournament.
Well, that is what it means to the Swiss team. And it is a great moment, and we think we've discovered a potential star in the making in Schabin.
I'm truly impressed by how he shot this final. He seemed calm and composed, and yeah, he was very smooth in his shot process. Yeah, it wasn't really rhyming with what I've seen for his qualification scores, for instance. It seemed at a much higher level than what I've seen for the rest of the tournament. But yeah, it's nice when somebody excels like that.
We heard it here first. Chef Annenberg spotting new talent.
Please welcome the athletes to the field of play.
So time for the gold medal match in the recurve men's team discipline here at the 2022 European Championships, right in the heart of Munich, the Bavarian capital. Time to go for gold here in Munich. The eagle-eyed amongst you will spot that the 2 teams coming out are Spain and Italy to contest this recurve men's team gold medal at the European Championships. A unique European Championships held in the following year from the last one, which was delayed for reasons that I'm sure you can work out for yourself. Let's go down for the team introductions.
On target number 1, representing Spain, Pablo Acha, Miguel Alvarinho Garcia, and Daniel Castro. On target number 2, representing Italy, Federico Mussolesi, Mauro Nespoli, and Alessandro Paoli. The line judge for this match is Katerina Konchalova.
Well, here we go. Spain versus Italy for the recurve men's team bronze. Spain came through the ranking as the top seeds, Italy as the 3rd seeds. Spain line up with Pablo Acha and Miguel Garcia, who's having a brilliant season himself, and Daniel Castro. Italy have Federico Mussolesi, Mauro Nespoli and Alessandro Paoli in their team. One word, Chef, Spain or Italy?
I'd have to give Spain the advantage here.
Well, Spain are going to get this gold medal match underway.
So we've seen this a lot. We've seen a lot of people start on the left, and typically you'll have like a spotter in the stands that will tell you like all of the teams are shooting left. Maybe adjust your sight a bit, but it's difficult to say how much because you don't know how much the side has already been moved of the teams that went previous. So yeah, the first end is often a sighter, and you can really make a difference by getting that right in the first arrows.
To give you a point of reference, effectively, what you're saying, yeah.
24.
The good thing about the set system is that it's not a big issue to shoot not as great of a first set, because you can always get back. Mauro Nespoli famously shooting a very heavy bow, a bow with a very heavy draw weight, so less affected by wind, which comes in handy in these final venues.
Well, they've dialed into the middle straight away, Italy. Micheletti also going into the centre, handing over to Paoli.
It's gone a bit high, but still a 28 gives them a 4-point advantage in the 3 first arrows of the set. So that gives them some breathing room in the second half.
Back over to Garcia.
And you could see the coach trying to look past the archers and looking at all of the flags and all of the things that you can judge the wind by, just so that he could more accurately give them some instructions. Okay, so they don't seem like they've settled in right just yet, but Italy will, I think, without any major issues, get this set.
A 10 makes that even more likely here. I mean, they've got a potential of a 58 here, so lots of breathing room. 2 sevens in the Spanish first set have opened that door.
10.
Well, the thing about this is, whilst they only need a point to share the points and 2 to take the win.
As we get a good look at the seemingly hyper-mobile arm of of Paoli. I'm sure we'll get another look at that later this match, but it seems like he can overextend his elbow.
Yeah.
And it looks really awkward, but I'm sure that for him it just feels like he's stretching his arm out.
Yeah, he's got a double jointed elbow.
Yeah.
So, or slightly double jointed, I should say. But yeah, it's the thing about that those final 3 arrows for the Italians, 10, 10 and 8, another 8 from Paoli, is that does that come as a bit of a confidence booster for the Italians as well as a confidence crusher for the Spaniards?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, because it doesn't only mean that Spain is still trying to figure out, okay, where do I have to aim, is my sight set correctly, but it means that they don't really feel room or time that they have because Italy is doing so well. So you need to hurry up with your sequence, you need to hurry up with your adjustments. Because yeah, Italy is not giving you much breathing room, and I think Paoli, he's shot 2 high 8s, so if he just adjusts his sight, he's also good. So and Spain will see that as well, that the first 2 archers of the team have only shot 10 so far, and the 3rd archer has just shot a group that's not in the middle, that he can adjust to the middle. So yeah, time is not on their side.
Ominous signs for the Spaniards as Mauro Nespoli sports his lovely summer hat.
Well, it's good weather for a straw hat.
Well, Alvarino, Castro and Acha just waiting on the range to be declared safe to shoot. There's the buzzer to indicate we are about to get back underway. Italy leading by 2 set points to 0, so Spain will shoot first in the 2nd set. And upstairs,
You can see that
Garcia.
You can see that Garcia has a bandage around his middle finger. This is not a new injury, or maybe not an injury at all, since he always uses that bandage. So there's nothing wrong with his finger as far as I know, or it might be that it's always wrong and he has to bandage it, but he's at least used to it. So it's not like a new thing that he's having to deal with right now. There's a bit of doubt in his shot, it seems. Normally his shots are a bit more stable and a bit faster. So his rhythm is a bit slow today, and that can just mean that you're not that on point. So maybe he can fix that before the end of the match.
27.
A bit more of a target for Italy to aim at.
Yeah, you could clearly see that he knew that was going to the left, but he seems okay with it. I think Mauro Nespoli is always the most confident looking man on the field, at least.
9.
And then importantly, after getting off the line, Mussolesi is giving some advice to his teammates, saying, okay, mine went to the right because I did this, or mine went to the right despite me doing this. So it's important that you keep communicating within the team. There was a bit of a delay there when he when his clicker went off. There was a bit of a delay, and it just seemed like there was a loss of tension, making the arrow go to the right. But it's very difficult to see what the archers feel. So there might well be a very good reason for that delay that we couldn't spot from here.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, looking at how the Spaniards shot their first 3 arrows, it's a very different looking makeup for their second set.
That's a 9, 52.
So 52 set as the target, 56 available, potentially for Italy, perhaps even 57 if that 8 gets marked up. But it has given Italy a bit of a chance here.
If the clock starts working again.
There's some technical issue with our clock at the moment.
Tough. Yeah. Tough to be in the cauldron anyway, right? In the centre of everything on the podium range. But when there are technical glitches, they just make it a little bit more frustrating.
Yes, so maybe we can fill this little pause with a big round of applause to all our athletes.
And this is a situation in which you can really easily fall out of rhythm. Italy was building up a nice rhythm. They were shooting quite well. And now, even though they were supposed to step on the line, Mauro has to wait, and he's just standing there waiting for his shot. So it kind of gives you the time to overthink things. Well, him being a silver medalist at last year's Olympics, I think he's not one for overthinking, but it does give you the opportunity to do so. So you have to keep yourself from doing that.
Well, there is the guilty culprit. It does give me an opportunity to ask you a little question here, Chef. What's going on with Nespoli's shoes?
Yeah, it looks like he's using bare feet shoes. So he has shoes that have, I think they're called the 5 fingers, so that he has separate toes. I actually have a pair of bare feet shoes myself, or a couple pairs, for shooting, because you're really, really planted on the ground if you have no sole or barely a sole at all. So it's nice, and you're nice and stable with them on, as you can see right here.
Just showing off to say you've got 2 pairs there, Chef, I think. You can only wear one, right?
Yeah, but I have different pairs for different situations, but not with the 5 fingers. I don't have those.
Back to the archery in this gold medal match. An intriguing one between Italy and Spain. Italy came into the set, 2 set points up to Spain. Spain started very well in this second, but as you can see, Italy have a chance here to go 4-0 up. And that is more than enough. A 54 for them in the second set. And the Italians have fought back against a resurgent Spain. Spain started that set so well.
Yeah, I was quite confident when I said Spain in the beginning of the match when you asked me which country was going to win, and that's because Alvarinho is in such a good shape this year, and I think Castro is also shooting later this afternoon in the individual matches. They were shooting really well. And they're just not finding it right now. It seems like they're searching for their sight setting or their form, and it's a very difficult search if you're standing there, you don't know what to look for. So
is that case then? So here's a tricky one. Perhaps awkward for you because you're still, I know you've retired, but you're still very much in the scene and you know all these guys as friends. But are there archers that struggle in the team environment and they just prefer to shoot individually?
Yes and no. I think there are archers who struggle with the fact that they only have 20 seconds, and then you would say, okay, but you only have 20 seconds in individual as well. But in individual, you get the time to load your arrow onto the bow when the other person is shooting, so you get a little bit more breathing time. And that time pressure and the fact that you have the weight of the other people on your shoulders effectively, it can be too much for some people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not suggesting that is the case here.
No, I don't think so.
It's an interesting point that some archers could struggle in team competitions, and at the same time, to counter it, other archers may absolutely revel in being part of a team and perform better than they do as individuals.
Yeah. So there's people who feel the pressure of having to carry a team, and there's also people who feel like they can get away with more because they're covered by the rest of the team. So it goes two ways.
Well, here, Italy are in the box seat, 4 set points up against Spain for the Recurve men's team gold. Garcia back on the shooting line. Spain have to win this set.
That was a much better shot than the previous shot, of which I said there was a bit of a delay in the clicker. This one, the clicker went off and just everything went in one line. So the release was nice, the front hand was nice, the bow arm. Just a bit unfortunate that it hit right side of the 10. Luckily Daniel hits it.
Year-old Archer shooting third for Spain.
Manages to just hit the line for the 9. So 28. It's good, but Italy is also very good at the moment. So.
It's very difficult to know what is good at the moment because these teams are meandering between the sublime and maybe not quite the ridiculous, but some top scores and then something perhaps a little less than that. Espoli with the 9.
Yeah, so far they've matched Spain exactly with 9 that's right outside of the 10 and then a good 10.
Another 9, so they haven't matched them completely in terms of score for a 28, and that is all the Italians need to do. That's the luxury that they have. They just need to match the scores of their opponents to take the European crown.
That was finally one of the shots that I'm used to seeing from Alvarinho Garcia. So I'm not heavily in favor of one team or the other, but I am heavily in favor of seeing a nice long match and maybe a shoot-off. So in this case, I hope that Spain will get back into this match.
Well, shooting out their socks right now. What a finish from them. 3-10s. That's the way to pass some pressure on a 58 out of a potential 60. High fives all around on the Spanish side. Time to settle the nerves on the Italian side of the shooting line. Nespoli up. Needs a 10. Gets it. Yeah. They all need 10s, the Italians, let's be clear. Any drop points, and we'll be moving on to a fourth set. Boy, they're going to finish this off with 3-10s themselves.
I wonder if Mauho is having flashbacks to the London 2012 Olympics, where Frangilli needed to shoot a 10 for the gold medal.
Responsibility on Paoli's shoulders.
Ooh.
Little bit of movement there. Oh, what a finish from Italy. Spain fired 3-10s down the 70-meter range, putting a huge amount of pressure on this Italian trio. But boy, oh boy, did they step up to the mark. Paoli with the most pressure on, anchoring the team. And look what it means to them. Italy are the Recurve men's team European champions in 2022. What a finish, Chef! What a finish!
Yeah, although I was hoping for a shoot-off, this is also a very, very nice, how do you say it, conclusion to the match. I think this was a very, very beautiful ending from Italy, and I think although very painful for Spain, they can have nothing but respect for the last end that Italy managed to blurt out.
There's not much more to add to that. I mean, it was a fantastic final 3 hours for Spain. They did all they could to put the pressure on this team, but what kind of pressure? They said, Italy, Recurve men's team, European champions here in Munich. I think all the neutrals here in the crowd have just been given a great display of sporting action.
Yeah, that was some high-level archery. It was impressive to see Spain come back after two ends in which they truly struggled, to then shoot 3-10s to end off their match. And in their situation, I think if you shoot 3-10s and you're tied after the first 3 arrows in the set, you think, okay, we've done all we could, and the chances of them also shooting 3-10s are relatively low, so we might have another set to go. So yeah, that makes it extra painful maybe to see that it didn't work out the way they wanted to.
Well, it's two sides of the same coin, isn't it? Painful from a Spanish point of view, but a delicious way to end for the Italians.
Yeah, maybe the nicest way to end with a 30 in the last 3 arrows. Yeah,
needing a 30, needing it and getting it. That was the thing. It was incredible, and that's what it meant to Paoli, Alessandro Paoli there, celebrating with Musilesi and of course Mara Nespoli. What a win from Italy! What a finish to this session. I think Nespoli was just saying, well, just calm down just a second, let's just shake your hands with your opponents and then we can celebrate. Always thinking about respect, the most experienced member of the team. But
you can see his eyes change from the target to the big screen to see where his arrow impacted. That was a cool shot, like a cool zoom-in shot.
Very, very good stuff from the Italians. The expression on their faces, absolute delight and sheer joy. After, let's face it, hours and hours and hours of practice to get to this point.
Yeah, you have to imagine that most of the archers here will be professionals, especially on the Recurve side of things. And yeah, typically they shoot somewhere between 200 and 600 arrows a day, so depending on which country and what your training schedule is. It takes a ridiculous amount of time, but also discipline to keep shooting those numbers. And yeah, there's a lot of other things that come to play in there.
Well, it is incredible what they do across the world, but this is what it's all about. Italian trio are champions of Europe. Paoli, Musalesi and Nespoli. And we are just waiting for them to get ready for their interview. You've probably just seen them back left of your picture. Statue of Lady Bavaria looking over the 70-meter range here on Recurve Sunday. And what a treat we've had this morning in our first session. Let's go and have a chat with the new European champions.
Alessandro, congratulations. You made it with the last arrow. What do you think about before?
Non l'ho capito.
Cosa pensi dell'ultima freccia?
Allora, avevo una grandissima agitazione dentro, soprattutto dopo non aver preso neanche un 10 nelle altre volée. Però è l'ultima freccia sempre quella che conta, quindi con la nostra freccia finale siamo riusciti a vincere. Ecco.
The hype was very high in the last 10, in the last arrow, but the last one was very important, so he shot well and he shot in the 10. So he's very happy about it.
Mauro, the last gold medal for the Italian team was in 2008 with you, I think so.
Yeah.
Is it a special win for you now, some years later?
Yeah, of course. We lost the qualification for the Olympic Games last year, so it was very important for us to come back for the in the team competition, and we are making it, so we are very, very satisfied about this result.
Federico, why did it take so long time to win again?
Perché ci abbiamo messo così tanto per vincere di nuovo?
Perché non è facile, però ci siamo ritrovati a squadre, abbiamo fatto degli ottimi scontri nelle eliminatorie. Oggi abbiamo dimostrato comunque di essere molto forti, che è una squadra molto forte e io sono veramente contentissimo, veramente.
It's not easy to win. All the team are here for winning, and so he is very happy. We are very happy to come back with this result in this European Championship, and we hope it's the right way for other medals.
Congrats again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, special thanks to Mara Nespoli for doing the translations there. So talking about the hope on that, the hope and expectation on that final arrow was clearly acknowledged by Paoli right at the beginning of that interview, and then Musalesi talking about how strong the field is here and how that makes it so much special, and then Nespoli finishing off with the thing that all these professional sports people do, already looking at the next event, looking forward.
Yeah, never being completely satisfied, always wanting more. Yeah.
Well, the last of the action here for this first session. Don't worry, folks, there's more archery to come today. But the last action from this session will be the victory ceremony for the Recurve men's team competition.
Presented by President of World Archery Europe and First Vice President of World Archery, Mr. Mario Scarcella. Gifts will be presented by Technical Delegate for this European Championship and Executive Board Member of World Archery, Miss Eva These. Bronze medal representing Switzerland.
So here we go, the Swiss team stepping up to the third step of the podium to collect the bronze medal here in Munich. Florian Faber there, collecting medal after Thomas Rufer, and chef's pick of the athletes right here. Keziah Shabin, just 19 years old. Their talent spotting there by Chef Vandenberg. The Swiss team beating Great Britain, coming from behind to beat Great Britain in the bronze medal playoff. Deserving bronze medalists.
Spain.
Difficult start to the gold medal match, shooting a 49 and opening the door. Their version of the special salute, the teams have been encouraged to develop this season by the sounds of things. They fought back really well in the final, shooting 3 10s to put themselves, or 2 X's in a 10 actually, in the third set to give the Italians the biggest of targets to go for. But the Italians were matched up to it. As Spain had to settle for the silver medal. Pablo Acha, Daniel Castro and Miguel Garcia Alvarino is his full name. On the right hand side, silver medal for him. It's been a great season for Garcia, has to be said. Final 4 of the first 2 High Archery World Cups of the season, and now European silver medalists. But what a performance from this trio of superstars. Italy are the new European champions. Right to left, Mauro Nespoli, Federico Mussolesi, and a rock star, the 22-year-old Alessandro Paoli here collecting his medal. What a 10 he shot at the end, Chef. That was a magical arrow.
Yeah, that was probably the highlight of that match, and the highlight of maybe the session. It was such a good arrow.
Yeah. Nespoli, with all the experience, very proud to be collecting yet another championship title for Italy. Locally baked cookie as the prizes. Well, time now to celebrate the new European champions with their national anthem. Well, there we have it. Italy taking the European title here in Munich in 2022, beating Spain in the final with a thrilling 3-10 finish. And Switzerland, that's a surprise package on the podium, but very well-deserving bronze medalist in the Recurve men's team competition. Opportunity for the photos as Nespoli holds up his, I believe it's ginger flavoured cookie.
Yeah, it's kind of like gingerbread with some what do you call it?
Icing.
Icing, yeah.
Well, look, let's take a look back over what's happened in this Recurve men's team competition. As we know, Italy top of the pile, fantastic finish over Spain in the final. Switzerland beating Great Britain for the third step on the podium, and there is the rest of the very strong field that Alessandro Paoli discussed in his interview after the gold medal match. Well, brilliant session here in Munich. We have one more to come, but we take a look back over the session here. It was a very busy crowd, wasn't it? Very busy.
Yeah, I think it might have had to do something with the fact that it's such nice weather, finally, after a week of rain. And also the fact that there was some Germans on the lane. So, yeah, a bit of a home crowd is never bad.
It always helps, doesn't it? Slovenia taking a bit of a surprise bronze, and here are the German chef was just talking about the women's team of Schwarz, Bauer and Kröten here taking the women's team gold medal, bananas and all, standing on top of the podium. That was a very special moment.
Yeah, it must have felt magical to them.
Yeah, indeed it would have done. And then the Swiss team.
Speaking of magic.
Yeah, the Swiss team coming out of a deep hole, really, against Great Britain, who started very confidently in the men's bronze medal match. But the Swiss team proved too strong in the end, taking the match 5-3 in the fourth set. Beautiful performance from the Swiss trio, and look what it meant to them. And then we turn our attention to the big one for the men, the gold medal match between Spain and Italy. Spain started slowly in the match, but boy oh boy did they put in a great third set, the biggest target possible for the final 3 arrows for Italy. But Italy were up to the task, and this man here fired in the third 10 to take the European title. Well, what a win for the Italians, and what a win for the Germans here in this first session. Your highlight?
My highlight was the last 10 of Paoli. It was great.
It was absolutely fantastic. Italians and Germans on top of the podium in this first session. In just a little under 2 hours' time, we'll be back for more here on Recurve Sunday. But for now, thanks for joining us.